Betty Jones. Ja, aro ei quella sidodesta. Ei ne sidodin adande. Se sisältää. Ako ei tihasja nengi edodo. On skandal niin astisut oli. Men ahot estiseli ja men ahot estinada niin on veistä huilinen aden haidi ja ako ei ja avadesta. Ako ei kala ei sitä sitä ei natsopendi ja hibinina. Arona hasirodo jobeta dettä. Ben ahot Silda leda ela benki da hodni ela ko. Aro aleda. Even an benki da hodni nengi. What answer?
Good evening, Congressman. Grandma said, I think you don't understand Navajo. So she referenced barriers. There was an agreement with a larger land span, the first agreement, and then the second agreement, I guess they decreased that. So your first visit here, we agreed on that, and we're seeking a continued support on that, she said, because it's been with the Navajo people for many years. That's where they get the woods, herbs, water, whatever. Navajo people has been using it for a long time. So just a continued support from you.
Thank you. I suspect, is it fair to say Bears Ears is on everybody's mind? Is that a fair statement? Let me try to give you a very broad answer, maybe take a few more minutes with this question, because I know it's such an important question to all of you. I think you can enjoy this. I was elected to Congress on November 7th and was sworn in on November 13th of 2017. You probably all remember what happened 3 weeks later. So imagine being a brand new congressman, having been to San Juan County once, maybe twice, I'm not sure, at least maybe once, right? Clearly not prepared for what came at me so fast as a new congressman. And yet since that time, I've had an opportunity to be here a number of times, to spend time out in much of the Bears Ears area, and to be involved in a public lands bill in Emory County that was not too different in size and scope from this. And from that, I've learned some very important lessons, and this is what I would share with you, and I think this is what you can expect from me as your congressman dealing with this important issue. The ideal way, the preferred way to solve these difficult public lands issues is by congressional action. Now, let me tell you what I mean by that. When a president uses the Antiquities Act, we've seen in Utah, it rarely feels good to some people. Some people love it, but some people don't. It feels a lot like force, right? And the reason for that is it's a kind of a declaration that can come just as the president wants without any input. And it's one of the few things we do in government that doesn't have a check by another branch of government. Think about almost anything we do gets a check by another branch of government. So if I'm going to pass legislation, it actually has to get not just the House, it has to get the Senate and the President to sign it. What does that do? It forces bipartisan work and agreement. And the Antiquities Act has left, let's admit it, some wounds, right? Some open wounds on both sides now. Because one president wanted to do it, one president did not. I understand many of you feel like he couldn't do that. We're going to take it to court. That's going to take a long time. It's going to take 5 years. It's going to take 10 years to resolve what happened with that. And in the meantime, we don't have an answer. And all of you are living with this uncertainty about, will the land be protected? Will we be able to graze? And all the questions that you have. So by far, my preference is to do what we did in Emery County, bring people together and find an answer that we can coalesce around and that we can agree on. I will tell you this, I've talked to a lot of people about Bears Ears. Without a very, very, very few exceptions, and I'm willing to take them and say you don't count, right? I don't find people who don't want to protect this area. The question is not really protect or not protect. The question is really how to protect and who gets to make the decisions. Does that make sense? That's really what this debate is about in my mind. Not whether or not we protect or don't protect, but who makes the decisions and what tools that we use to protect. We have a number of tools that we use to protect things. We have a monument designation. We have wilderness study designation. We have wilderness designation. In Emery County, we actually used a brand new designation, a recreation area designation for part of it. So I want you to know that I am committed to spend as much time as it takes at both myself and my staffs to try to bring resolution to this in a way that brings harmony and ends the salt, if that makes sense, and the angst and the division that it has brought to this community. The tool that I have in my toolbox is only one, and that's congressional action. I don't get to do an Antiquities Act. I don't get to repeal Antiquities Act. I don't get to do anything except for congressional action. So that's the tool I have, and that's the tool I want to use. I've got to find consensus. If I can't find consensus, a bill can die about 1 million ways, and it can only live one way, and that is massive consensus. And there's so many things and people that can stop a bill from getting through. So it's my hope, strong hope, that we can change the dialogue we've had to antiquities or no antiquities to what do we do to bring resolution to this? What do we do to protect this beautiful area? What do we do to give assurance to the people that need to graze, that like to hike, that like to be out in these areas, that like to recreate with the different ways that they recreate? Can we find that? And that's my hope. Thank you.
Can you interpret what you said?
Yes, good luck with that.
Oh, yeah, this is 19 kidige. Oh yes, Albert, only that negi box. La ja the last das dann negi ist die hoch kitle. Die yendel so. Shady ba ayado listen so. Ako khujo hawana do khujo hawana ito orni daily. Ako hot any bes ani ayod net ayi nil jniye. Die shibes zenigi ja hajoba yetkeo. Laant neya yetkeo. Ako ja da khotha ada unda hawan tha of artists in Liki Washington. That's what it ako in za go in zenigi ja do